This evening, President Ali set September deadline for completion of Eccles to Great Diamond 4-lane highway Cemetery Road expansion project faces delays due to mysterious supernatural circumstances. Man sentenced to 10 years for fatally stabbing mother of 5 while intoxicated in 2019. In the region, Colombia's PETRO appeals for Congress to pass social reforms. And internationally, Manipur violence. Modi speaks out after graphic video emerges. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for July 21st, 2023. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. The long-awaited completion of the Eccles to Great Diamond 4-lane highway on the east bank of the Demerara is targeted for September of this year. President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali inspected the project and emphasized the need for timely completion, warning contractors and engineers of the liquidated damages for delays beyond the specific dates. The first lot of the highway is expected to have road markings and signs completed by the next week, with the second lot scheduled for completion in September. The president expressed optimism that a 3-shift system could speed up the work, given that most structural and technical aspects have been completed. Once finished, the highway will significantly improve transportation and connect various communities. The project, valued at $13.3 billion, involves the construction of more than 30 bridges and over 8.6 kilometers of highway roads. With a solid commitment to infrastructure development, the government has allocated substantial funds for essential projects in the housing sector, including the extension of motorways and the construction of new roads. We now turn our attention to the National Assembly. Despite several setbacks, works on the much-anticipated Cemetery Road project are moving along, and the government anticipates the thoroughfare will be completed before the end of the year. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edghill made the disclosure during the 65th sitting of the National Assembly on Thursday. He was at the time responding to a question posed by opposition Member of Parliament Annette Ferguson. The Public Works Minister explained that the project had some snags.
This project, sir, started on time shortly after signing of the contract, but the evidence is there, and it's now known around that the contractor has had to change several teams because of the location of this project and the superstitious nature of our country. When some members of staff started falling sick, there was some interpretation by some that it had to do with some supernatural force that was at work and the rest of it, and workers started staying away from the project. So that's one of the things that delayed the project.
Minister Edghill explained that another cause for the delay was the adverse weather condition.
Rainfall was the other problem, sir. All of us would have seen and known that the drains in the Cemetery Road alignment have been consistently flooded, and waters from the burial ground have been coming in. We have sought some engineering interventions of where to dispose of the water to be able to get it done. They have tried several different avenues.
The contract for upgrades to Cemetery Road was signed in July of 2022 to the tune of $475 million. The project includes the expansion of the existing 2-lane carriageway into 4 lanes with a pedestrian lane in the center for enhanced safety. In similar news, the National Assembly unanimously approved the removal of a 20% tax on cellular phones following President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali's commitment to making connectivity easier for citizens. The move is expected to reduce importation costs and improve affordability for consumers. The tax removal is part of a broader initiative to promote improved connectivity, access to telecommunication services, and reduced costs since 2020. The implementation of the Telecommunications Act 2016 and the Public Utilities Commission Act 2016 has also attracted large-scale telecommunications companies to invest in Guyana, boosting the local economy with new job opportunities. Stick around when we return. Man sentenced to 10 years for fatally stabbing mother of 5 while intoxicated in 2019, and 2 more women take up seats in the National Assembly.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and our purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you wanna know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for doing surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. 53-year-old Raymond Osama of North Sophia, Georgetown, was sentenced to 10 years for manslaughter when he appeared at the Demerara High Court on Thursday, July 21st. Osama was charged with fatally stabbing Nadina Kalamadin, a mother of 5, back in 2019. He appeared before Justice Priya Srinarayan Bihari and pleaded guilty to the lesser charge, citing intoxication during the incident. The court heard that on February 27, 2019, Kalamadin was walking on 2nd Street, North Sophia, Georgetown, when Osama approached her and attempted to hold her hand and follow her on the road. She pulled away and the accused took out a knife from the waist of his pants and stabbed the woman several times about her body before fleeing the scene. During the sentencing, Justice Srinarayan Bihari considered several factors, including the seriousness of the offense, the prevalence of violence, and the use of alcohol that impaired the accused's judgment. The weapon used and the emotional trauma suffered by the victim's family were also taken into account. The judge acknowledged the accused's early guilty plea and remorse. Osama was sentenced to 10 years in prison with 4 years deducted for time already served on remand. The People's Progressive Party Civic newest Member of Parliament, Nandrani Kunja, expressed her commitment to virtue as she took her oath of office during Thursday's 65th sitting of the National Assembly at the Architecture Convention Centre. Kunja replaces Nigel Dharmlal as the Region 2 Member of Parliament after his removal as a local government minister due to misconduct. The government has yet to announce Dharmlal's replacement as a minister. Kunja was selected from the PPPC geographic list of candidates for Region 2. Besides being a food caterer, she has gained recognition for her work with the school feeding program and serves as a commissioner on the Women and Gender Equality Commission. Ghana's electoral system comprises 65 members of parliament, with 25 elected from geographical constituencies and 40 from the national top-up list. In another development, Dr. Asha Kassoon, a member of parliament from the New Movement Party under the Joiner List Agreement, secured a majority vote on Thursday to be elected Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. The newly elected Deputy Speaker obtained 33 votes, winning over APNU AFC nominated Member of Parliament Dawn Hasten Williams, who received 31 votes. The government chief whip, Gail Tashiran, nominated Dr. Kassoon for the post. She replaces Lennox Schumann, the leader of the Liberty and Justice Party, who previously served as Deputy Speaker of the House. Dr. Kassoon joined the National Assembly in April as part of the Joiner List Agreement, which allows the New Movement, Liberty and Justice Party, and the New and United Guyana to share a single seat. The TNM has a 3-month stint in the Assembly, after which ANOG will take over. Don't go away after the break. New York City warns asylum seekers to stay away. And Manipur violence, Moody speaks out after graphic video emerges.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you who don't know nothing, with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Colombia's president has opened a new session of Congress defending his reform agenda. Since taking office a year ago, Gustavo Petro has tried to improve environmental and social protection, but he has faced stiff opposition. Al Jazeera's Alessandro Rapietti reports.
All to embrace change and build a national pact by a president struggling to advance his transformative agenda. Colombia's first ever leftist president, Gustavo Petro, gave his first speech to a joint session of Congress on Colombia's Independence Day. Many here consider this a do-or-die moment for the government's many ambitious reforms.
There is a window of opportunity. It is the time for social reforms. It's the moment, and it can't be done in a day, in which this country can become more egalitarian. And that's why it's the moment for a national pact.
The president defiantly presented his vision of Colombia at a time when climate change represents a life-threatening risk to humanity, once again promising to move the country away from its reliance on oil and coal and towards a sustainable energy transition.
It's not just about making speeches, it's about trying to advance in environmental and social justice. The answer has been ambivalent. We have encountered a struggle. There are forces in society and the state that oppose it.
He also called on lawmakers to pass health, labor, pension, education and agricultural reforms that he believes can profoundly change a country that remains among the most socially and economically unequal in the world. But those reforms face an uphill battle. The broad coalition the president had built in Congress when he first took office has fallen apart, as traditional parties find the president's proposals too radical and his style overbearing.
I think the government needs to do more to negotiate the reforms. If he doesn't become more conciliatory, trying to pass these reforms will be an ordeal. He can't expect Congress to be a notary of what he wants.
The opposition booed the president, showing banners of dead soldiers when Petro said that his policy of negotiating deals and ceasefires with armed groups and mafias reduced the deaths of soldiers and policemen by 55 or 60%. And since losing the elections, the opposition has managed to regroup and mobilize large protests against the reforms.
We have said repeatedly that the president is not listening to those who think differently from him. But our opposition is interested in building, not doing damage.
Petro's victory a year ago was a watershed moment for Colombia's leftist politics. Yes, transforming his promises into tangible change remains elusive. Alessandro Ampieti, Al Jazeera, Bogotá.
New York City is sending leaflets to the United States-Mexico border, urging asylum seekers to stay away. It warns about the city's high cost of living and 60 days limit for asylum seekers. Al Jazeera's Kristin Salumi reports.
No more room. That's the message from New York's mayor to migrants who've been arriving by the busload. Many sent here by Republican governors in states like Texas, Arizona, and Florida. More than 90,000 have been absorbed in the city since last spring. Many are fleeing poverty and, in some cases, persecution, hoping to gain a better life in the United States.
We gave them a place to sleep. We gave them food. We ensured that their children were in our school system and incorporated into our school system. But we cannot continue to absorb tens of thousands of newcomers on our own without the help of the state and federal government.
The city has received $100 million in emergency funding from the federal government. And volunteer organizations like Team TLC have been providing things like clothing, toys for kids, and legal advice. But the city is projected to spend more than $4 billion to house and feed asylum seekers throughout the next year.
With homeless shelters at capacity, the mayor is saying he will now limit adult asylum seekers to 60-day stays. And the city is also passing out flyers like this at the U.S. southern border, warning migrants that New York is expensive and asking them to consider going someplace else.
The flyer warns there's no guarantee of shelter, something advocates for the migrants contest. As a so-called sanctuary city that promises shelter for those in need, New York has been housing 55,000 of them as they begin the lengthy process of applying for work papers.
When the city starts closing its doors while at the same time saying we're a welcoming city and we love immigrants, you can't have it both ways. If we're a sanctuary city, if we welcome immigrants, if immigrants are the backbone of this city and indeed this country, then we have to find creative solutions, not just turning our backs on them.
The mayor's move is unlikely to deter people like Eugenio from Venezuela.
It's great here. Thank God we're in a place with a developed immigration process. We already have clothes and shelter at the hotel where they feed us.
But Mayor Eric Adams says the city can no longer cope. Its compassion for migrants may be unlimited, but resources are not. Kristen Salumi, Al Jazeera, New York.
And finally, there has been widespread condemnation of violence in the northeastern Indian state of Manipur after a video emerged of two naked women being assaulted by a crowd. Since early May, tensions between two tribes have sparked violence that has killed nearly 150 people and displaced more than 50,000. Al Jazeera's Michael Appeal has more.
This is what's been happening in India's northeastern state of Manipur. It's a part of the country bordering Myanmar and is now at the heart of a conflict between predominantly minority Christian Kuki community and the mostly Hindu majority Meiteis that's tearing the state apart. A video showing two Kuki women stripped naked, paraded and sexually assaulted has sparked outrage across India. It was filmed in early May, but only now emerged due to the state's ongoing internet blackout. And after months of silence about the violence in the region, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken out.
My heart is full of pain, filled with anger. The Manipur incident, which has come to light, is a shameful incident for any civilized society. I want to assure the citizens that those guilty will not be spared. What has happened to the daughters of Manipur can never be forgiven.
Kuki women in Churachandpur district look on in shock as they watch the video, which we have chosen not to show.
I felt so sad after watching the video. Who does this to other human beings? Why did they strip them naked? You wouldn't do this to your enemies.
The Chief Minister of Manipur says police have one suspect in custody.
We have arrested one man culprit who are involved in this heinous crime.
But Kuki protesters and activists aren't convinced by the Chief Minister's statement.
We all know the Chief Minister, he is the one who is instigating all this crisis in Manipur. Now why he is speaking peace, peace now?
Al Jazeera spoke to another victim of kidnapping and sexual assault by what she says was a group of Meitei men.
They say that if you run away from us and if you are safe, if you report at police or if you put FIR, we will find you out and kill you.
A curfew remains in place in the state capital of Imphal to ease tensions, while the number displaced by the violence keeps growing. Mike Lappel, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. that's Safe TV2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.